I completed my first HYROX competition without any training, and I'm here to spill all the tea on what you need to know if you are HYROX curious. Today's video is going to be me just breaking everything down on my experience at my first HYROX competition. I'm going to go exercise by exercise and truly tell you where I fell apart. If you don't know who I am, my name is Julia. I like to make fitness and wellness content, and this is The Daily Deets. Ever since I was a kid, I have believed that I am elite when it comes to being an athlete. Now, I was the kid in the class that took PE as serious as I would the Olympics. I truly believed that if I was the fastest girl in the class, all of the guys would be in love with me. But unfortunately, they just thought I was weird and kind of fast. If you're like me and all your friends are getting married or having babies and you're looking for your new hobby, maybe HYROX is for you. Now, if you've been following this journey, you know that I decided I was going to compete in a mixed doubles HYROX competition with my friend Shervin back in January. Whenever I put out a video, I put out this video and I was like, I'm becoming a hybrid athlete in 2025. And let me tell you, life had a different plan for me. Life was like, no, you're not. You're actually gonna get the flu and you're gonna be sick for like a really long time. And then you're gonna get hurt and it's gonna be really cold and you're gonna be sad. And then you're just gonna show up in DC and you're just gonna let her rip. And that's exactly what I did.
Your first impressions, what do you think?
I'm scared. I feel like this is a big PE class that I'm about to be part of.
If you're watching this and you're thinking,
why wouldn't you train? That's so dumb.
I wanted to train. I had formulated this whole training plan. I was so excited to train for this, but unfortunately, life just had other plans for me. For those of you who don't know what HYROX stands for, it's a little interesting, okay? HYROX sounds like such a cool, bold name, HYROX, but it stands for Hybrid Rock Star. You know, I love where their hearts were going. I love the intention. I just feel like when you say hybrid rock star, it just sounds not as cool. Okay, so let's just leave it as HYROX. HYROX is a competition that combines endurance running, my favorite, and functional exercise movements. Because I'm so good at editing videos, I decided that for the sake of everybody's sanity, I was going to just break this down for you. I made a very easily digestible board, breaking down the exercises. I understand that this might be a little small for you to see, but we're just gonna walk through it. HYROX stacks running and functional movements back to back over and over and over again. And you just try to get through it without dying or tearing your labrum, like I did. I still finished though, never forget. On the day that you're competing, you're going to warm up. There's going to be an athlete area. You're gonna go in there. They have all of the doohickeys that you're gonna be using. They've got the sled, they've got the rower, they've got the sandbags, they have everything. But unfortunately, that still did not prepare me. Just minutes before the competition, Shervin and I were trying to figure out the rules. I was like, you've done this before. Aren't you supposed to know? But he didn't know. So we were practicing like our handoffs and where our hands had to be. There's a lot that goes into this race that you need to know if you're going to be competing, especially in doubles or mixed doubles, because you could get disqualified like Shervin did with his new teammate that replaced me. I'm not gonna brag, but we weren't disqualified. We're gonna break this down movement by movement so you know what you're getting into, because I sure didn't know what I was getting into, okay? Great. You start off strong with a 1 kilometer run, okay? A 1 kilometer run. You come out, everyone's running, you're excited, you run out of this like Red Bull tent, you're like, okay, you don't wanna come out too hot. And I felt good at this point, other than the fact that I got my period probably 2 or 3 hours before this.
How you feeling?
Not great.
Why?
I got my period. I'm unwell.
And this seems to be a trend for me. Anytime I have any type of fitness competition, there will be blood, unfortunately. TMI, but I am full of excuses in this video, and I will make sure that you know all of them. You're gonna come out of this run hot. Don't come out of this run hot though. Don't be that guy. Something that I learned really fast is the fast runners are supposed to stay on the left. You're supposed to hug the kind of like fencing material that they have set up. The slower runners are supposed to be on the right. Unfortunately, everyone is very similar to me and they think that they are literally the fastest runner that has ever touched this earth, but they're not. When you are trying to run fast, you would need to do one of two things, in my opinion. You better get ready to scream, left, left, left. Like you actually like have to yell at people. It's very uncomfortable. Or hot take, just go to the right. Everybody thinks they're fast and they're like, whoa, they're over here. And you're like, okay, why don't we just go that way? Why don't we just go to the right? And that's what we ended up doing. So you come out hot with a 1 kilometer run and you go right into it, ski erg. This is your first functional movement. I know you can't see this. You can't really see this board, but I thought it would be cute to make it. My strategy for this entire competition with Shervin was really to let Shervin carry the weight of the team because I wasn't feeling very good. And he sure did during the ski erg. Look at his form. His form was incredible. My form, not that great. This is definitely something that I would want to work on. It was 1,000 meters, and I believe Shervin did like 500, maybe I did 250, and then he brought us home with another 250. One thing that I would do to get better at ski erg is actually learn the form. Everybody was doing different form, and it was stressing me out. So learning the correct form that doesn't waste a lot of energy, but it's like very efficient, that's what I would do. And then we were back off for the races, hitting the second 1 kilometer run. After that 1 kilometer run, we went into probably my favorite exercise, my favorite functional movement throughout all of HYROX, and that was sled push. I want everyone to know, including all of my girlfriends, Tegan and Danny, that competed in HYROX, that when you are in mixed doubles, your weight is 275 pounds, okay? I weigh 120 pounds, and you gotta push this sled all the way down and all the way back. This was my strongest, I would say. Like, I felt really strong here. I'm sure that my form could be a lot better. Like, different people have like different grips. I was like realizing that. I was like, well, it's a little too late to be trying these different grips. So, you know, whatever. When it comes to what I would do to train more for the sled push is I would actually train more. That would have been great. But the second thing would be training with more weight or training right after running. I think like the overall vibe is going to be like train the functional movements on fatigued legs, right? So that it's like easy. That brings you right into your 3rd kilometer run. That's where my legs were like, oh, okay, this is new. We're doing something new. This is interesting. From that 1 kilometer run, we went directly into the sled pull. Now, once again, for mixed doubles, 165 pounds. This was very, very difficult for me. I, once again, did not know the technique. I noticed now that there's like 2 different techniques that people use. One is like the put your legs down and just try to like pull it in arm by arm. This is kind of what I was doing. I was kind of doing like a lot of weird things. But what I've noticed with women, what like tends to work is like grabbing the rope and like pulling back and like with your feet going back. And then going up and then pulling it again. This was not my strong suit. Once again, Shervin had to really bring us home on this one. After the sled pull, off to another 1 kilometer run. Burpee broad jumps. I'm really going to put myself on blast here. I stand at a respectable height, 5 feet, 2 inches, and a half on a good day. So when I am jumping, I feel like I am flying. Okay, I literally feel like a gazelle in the wind. And then I watched the footage of me jumping for burpee broad jumps. And I don't know what it is. I think I don't bend my waist. This was really not a good look for me. After burpee broad jumps, where literally one of Shervin's jump was like 4 of mine, we hit another 1 kilometer run right into rowing. Another thing that like probably not my strong suit. Rowing was interesting because the thing that really tripped Shervin and I up was switching, because he has like these really big feet and I wear like a 6.5, maybe 7 in running shoes. And so getting in and out and like having this foot thing on the rower, it slowed us down. And also at this point is where we realized that there was this other group in red, and we were in red. that were completely cheating. Like they were completely cheating. And I was already like on it. Like honestly, guys, like between you and I was not having a good time. I was like, this is the worst day of my life. Like, oh, and I was like, who are these people? Who are these people? And then I got like hyper competitive. Not very strong. I'm not a very strong rower and I was gassed. And so all I could do was like offer my support for Shervin. I was like, let's go, Shervin. You're doing great. After the 1,000-meter row, we went into another 1 kilometer run. Would you believe it? The runs were getting harder, but at the same time, like I felt still pretty strong. I felt myself getting slower just because, yes, I was tired, but I also like didn't know what to expect. I was like, do I need to keep more in the tank? Which I was keeping more in the tank. Like I really was. So after this 1 kilometer run, we had farmer carries, 35-pound kettlebells. And I was like, I can do this. And here's what I didn't know was going to happen with kettlebells is when I'm doing farmer's carries, like I'm like walking with them, maybe like a really fast walk, like maybe almost like I got a little pep in my step. Other people are sprinting. So like Shervin, I picked them up and I'm like, I'm going to contribute to this competition, right? Like this is my time to shine for our team. This is what I'm thinking constantly. Shervin's behind me and is like, whenever you're tired, just drop them, just drop them, just drop them. And I was like, fine, you know what? I am tired. Drop the kettlebells. Shervin takes off sprinting with these kettlebells. Like I was like, what? I actually like felt pretty strong with the weight, but like I didn't know that this was a run. So I would train that and also like just like do it, you know? All right. So after the farmer's carries, we went directly into, again, what a surprise, another 1 kilometer run. This is where things got really bad for me. Exercise 7, technically round 14, sandbag lunges. You know, those of you who watch my channel might be thinking, where did that Julia girl go? She's not very consistent. I want to let you know that during sandbag lunges, it was, what was it? 44-pound sandbag. I was like, this is all, you know, I'm tired. I'm feeling very gassed. I went down for a lunge and I've never had a muscle cramp before. I felt this really terrible feeling in my right groin, hamstring, quad. Like the whole thing lit up like your Christmas tree. And you actually can see it, which is crazy. You can see right here, the look in my face. Little did I know, I thought this was a muscle cramp because I'm literally an idiot. Literally did I know this was me tearing my right labrum. Sandbag lunges is where everything went downhill. I was like not okay. And then Shervin was like really like getting gassed because he was just like, you know, carrying the weight. We finished these and we went into our last 1 kilometer run. If you look at our times from our splits, I was pushing through so much pain at this point of like, what just happened to my hip? Like my whole leg, something is so wrong. Like I'm in so much pain. And Shervin is such a great partner. And he was like, come on, Julia, you can do it. But because I'm so competitive and like not in a good way, I was like, oh, you're going to tell me to run fast? I'm going to run the slowest I've ever run. That's crazy behavior. But I was like, I'm literally just a girl. Like I'm just a girl trying to compete in this like really scary fitness competition. Little do I know I just tore through my labrum and I am in so much pain. And I'm also like on my period. So not to make excuses, that is why when we got to the last exercise of wall balls with, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Like I mentally kind of quit. And I'm embarrassed to say that because if you are an athlete or an aspiring athlete or an unprofessional athlete, like I call myself, you know that there's nothing worse than being done with a race or a competition or whatever it is and knowing, wow, I didn't leave it all out on the field. I didn't leave it all out on the track. Like I gave up. And that's kind of how I felt at wall balls. Like I was just like, I can't do this. This is heavy. So Shervin, once again, really carried the weight. He was hitting the thing. I tried to do the wall balls, but to be fair, I'm going down in these squats and I'm like, what am I feeling in my leg? Well, it was my torn labrum. And if any of you know anything about a torn labrum, like any like type of deep hip flexion, it's not going to feel good. So I did a few. I did a few. How I would train for this is I would start actually with like, before even doing wall balls, I would do like a lighter wall ball, but then once again, I would have strengthened my upper body. Like I would have done like shoulder presses. Unfortunately, I did not have the outcome that I wanted. Shervin and I finished, our time was like 1:11. I feel like if we would have been able to compete again in New York, which we were supposed to, I really think that we could have had like, this is going to sound crazy, but like 107. If you are HYROX curious, I think you should do it. You can do it alone, which I think would be very difficult. I would recommend doing it with a friend. Like, do it with a friend. This is something that's so fun. It's so collaborative. There's so much good energy. And I still did attend the New York City HYROX. And might I tell you, if you don't want to compete, cheering is its own competition. I was running around with my head cut off. I was documenting all of it. But yeah, I did survive my first HYROX without training. So if you want to be reckless like me and you think you are an unprofessional athlete, let it rip and sign up for one. They have them all over the country, all over the world. I cannot recommend it enough. That's all I got for ya. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you next week. All right, bye. Hybrid Rockstar. That's a wrap.